Welcome to the interview section of Mijas International. Sandy is our guest today, Sandy Mellule, and she's the managing editor from Key to Mijas Costa magazine. It's really informative and entertaining, and it's a really handy size, as we keep telling you. And the guest with Sandy today in the studio is Lorraine de Preita, and she's from DEP InDEPendent, and this company is a mortgage broker, so she's going to be telling us all about the world of mortgage broking. We've got lots of questions for her. And Lorraine has lived in Spain on and off for 30 years. She's been based here for 2 years this time around, and she's always specialised in this field. And a big welcome to you, Lorraine. Thank you for coming to the programme today. And yes, mortgage broking, we'll talk about it in a second. Lots of questions for you, because it can be confusing when you're looking to buy a house and there's so many different things out there that are available. You don't know what's best for you. No. Now, after we've spoken with Lorraine, Sandy, as always, we'll be looking at the What's On guide. We've got the Mijas Jazz Festival, we've got a charity lunch, we've also got walking in the countryside and a wine and food pairing as well. So lots to cover there. Now, Lorraine, yes. You deal with different banks, you're the mediator as a mortgage broker. Now, what would you say to people if they were thinking of buying a house and not knowing whether to use a mortgage broker or not, or whether to go directly to a bank?
Well, if they went directly to a bank, first of all, they wouldn't know which one was right for them, because the banks all have their own different deals and percentages and the rest of it that banks do. So they wouldn't know where to start. There might be a language problem, and plus, usually when they get over here, they're really nervous and they don't know what to do for the best. And so if to use someone like us, then we take all that weight off their shoulders. What we would do is go through all their finances with them, first of all, to make sure they can afford what it is that they're wanting to purchase. And secondly, once we have all the paperwork intact, we would then approach the bank that we think would fit their needs best.
Yes.
That takes a heck of a lot of legwork.
I can imagine, yeah,
I can imagine a lot of legwork.
Because just mentioning that you've been in this field for a long, long time, you did deal with the Halifax, didn't you?
I did. That's where I started my career.
In Madrid. Well, you started in the UK, but then you came to Madrid.
And I worked in Madrid for a time in the underwriting department, which again gives me a bit of an edge, because in the underwriting department, obviously, you witness firsthand what it is that the staff in there are looking for, why they turn mortgages down, and why they accept. So after a while, you begin to understand what it is that they're looking at. And the banks, they do have a little problem with everything comes in English for a start, and even to me, that's been doing it for years, tax returns and profit and loss accounts and balance sheets are not the easiest thing in the world to tackle.
Yes.
So they do it well now. They do it well now. In the beginning, they were completely baffled, because it's nothing. Paperwork was nothing like they'd ever seen before.
No.
So that again gives me a bit of an advantage, because I get all the clients' paperwork to me first, and then I go through that. I can go through the profit and loss and the tax returns and blah, 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 and assess whether, the banks will accept this, or I'm sorry, the banks won't. So they're not wasting their time, because they could troll around to
one bank to the other, get rejected,
and still get rejected
why.
Every time. And in the meantime, they're getting more and more despondent. So it's easier to come to someone like me and my daughter that works with me, and we can say, what you need to do is, for example, if your affordability is not great, how about buying it with your brother, your mother, going into a partnership. We can suggest ways that they might end up with that dream staying a dream and not becoming a nightmare, which I've seen many times. And then they're heartbroken and their dreams, the bubbles burst.
Yes.
And it's sad to see.
Yeah. Well, there was a lot of examples of that. Nobody really foresaw the economic crisis.
No.
People were remortgaging what they'd already got, and then all of a sudden they were losing their jobs, or the hours were going down for work. They couldn't pay the remortgage.
They ended up just handing the keys to the house into the banks, which resulted in the banks suddenly owning masses of property that they didn't really want and selling it off at at least half of what it was worth. So yeah, it was a disaster, that. But the banks are confident. They're becoming more and more confident, and the interest from foreign buyers is increasing too. Confidence is coming back into Spain from abroad. So the customers are now not saying, well, you know, we don't want it all to go, you know, belly up over here.
Yeah.
Well, if we do this, the banks are now giving them confidence to approach the banks for a mortgage. It's all becoming easier, and because of that, prices are slightly going up as well.
Yes, because everybody's just getting, as you say, that little bit more confidence. In the actual financial market and the real estate market.
Yes, they are.
Because you look at, if you look at mortgages, you see fixed, variable. 10 years, 15 years, 30 years. Yeah. And I would imagine you would just get so confused if there wasn't somebody there to advise.
Yes, I think you would. If you know, it's all everyday language to me because I've been doing it for 30 years. But to somebody new going into this, they don't understand what they're being told.
No.
And I'm not implying that they're stupid. No. It's just a new world. It's a new area. And again, the worry is, well, I don't speak the language. I'm nervous. And we take all that away from them. We hold the hand all the way through. And I think the nicest thing I could say would be that we care. My daughter and I really, really care. And all our clients usually become friends. And we look after them. We hold their hand. We explain exactly what's happening, why it's happening, things we can do to help ease the process. It's an old-fashioned customer service that we give, basically. And
yeah, you hold their hand, though.
Hold their hand, right? Yeah, hold their hand.
I mean, I presume as well, if they need a lawyer, there's all different stages where they might need a third person.
There are, yeah, and I wouldn't recommend anybody that I hadn't worked with over a long period and got to know really, really well. So in the legal world, insurance, financial advice, I know lots of people, well, lots not, but a good many people that I would recommend because I know they're 100% trustworthy and you'll get a good job out of them. I wouldn't recommend anybody I didn't know.
And you hadn't worked with, as you said, for quite a while.
Yes, yeah.
And if somebody's out there, they're looking at mortgage brokers, what sort of questions should they be asking the broker to know, you know, whether they should use them or another one, how established they are, for instance, and perhaps some references from other clients, maybe. They should be asking things like that.
References are always good. Yeah. People that we've already have been through our books, if you like. So that would be good. I think whenever you're going to pay somebody money, you need to get some references about them and know that they've given a good service before. But I think the other thing is to meet. You have to meet, for me personally anyway, if I wanted to, well, whatever I wanted to do, I wouldn't just pick up the phone. I might, but it would be to make an appointment.
To meet
because I want to meet, and I want to look at you, and I want to know whether I'm going to trust you or not. Yeah. And so I would always recommend, and that's what we do. We always give a free meeting. To just, wherever they're staying, if they've got a place here, or if they're in a hotel, or they're renting, we're happy to go and meet them wherever they're staying. Sit where they're comfortable, and go through everything with them, exactly what we'll be looking for. So there's no surprises.
Yes, yeah.
No surprises for them.
And it's everything is as they think it should be.
Yes, yeah. And that's there, the confidence comes. Yeah. And that's when they'll start feeling, you can see they sit back after a while and start to relax a bit, unlike me.
And take it all in.
Yes, take it all in, yeah.
Now, you are based in
El Grande,
but you deal with the whole of the Costa del Sol.
Yes, we do. Yes, so it doesn't matter whether it's Gibraltar to Malaga. Yeah. We don't go around the corner, but we go that far. So it's a big coast, and we do inland and the coast. So it doesn't matter where they want a property. We can usually help. Okay.
Just out of interest, with the amount of clients that you've dealt with over the years, but we'll relate it to Spain really. What real problems have you come across for clients, where clients are concerned? You know, what they're really confused about and really need help on?
I think understanding what the banks are looking for, because it is a bit different to the UK. Over here, the banks are purely interested in affordability. They're not interested that you've got a second home in the Lake District that's worth 500,000, or that you've got bonds or whatever you've got, because they're assets, and you can dispose of your assets overnight if you want to. So the fact that you've got a £500,000 property in the Lake District doesn't mean you're not going to sell it the minute you've got your mortgage. So that's the difference. Assets are taken into account in the UK, not by Spanish banks, because their answer straight away is, well, how do I know you're going to keep that?
Yes.
You might sell that when you've got your mortgage. We want to know what's coming in, what's going out, and have you got enough left to afford to run a second home?
Yeah.
It's very basic, actually. It's quite simple.
Yes.
But it's providing all the little bits of paperwork, because people will always say, yes, but I've got this in a savings account and it's worth 100,000. I'm sorry, but that's
not what counts.
No,
yeah.
It's just what's coming in.
Yeah. Do you know the difference?
It is quite simple, actually. But they do like to see all the paperwork that proves that, including credit checks.
Yes.
They will do a UK credit check.
Quite rightly as well.
Quite rightly, absolutely.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.